Hi, everyone. Let's talk about WWE Friday Night SmackDown, January 10th, 2025, which I thought was a decent show. Let's talk about it. The show opens with Wade Barrett and Joe T welcomes us to the show, and since mentions of talent arriving at the arena follows, and we get a recap of the debut of Raw on Netflix. And Paul Heyman is in the ring on the mic, and he says it's his pleasure to announce to us that there is only one reigning defending Survival Chief of the WWE Universe, and that Survival Chief is Roman Reigns. And he calls Cody Rhodes to the ring for a chat, and then Cody Rhodes comes down to the ring. Then Paul Heyman puts him over as a credit to WWE and such as a great champion that Roman asked him to come out here and tell him straight up to his face that now that he is the undisputed Tribal Chief, he wants his title back and lays out a roadmap for Reigns to get the title back. So with that in mind, he asks Cody what he wants to talk about before he can answer. And Kevin Owens comes down the stairs in the crowd and he says Cody has given even worse shaking hands with The Rock on Monday, and now 30 seconds after he shakes his hand with Paul Heyman, he got the told Roman wants his title back, and if he lets Reigns gets his title, he's betraying the entire WWE. And Cody has had enough, and he rushes out into the crowd and attacks Kevin Owens and brawling back into the concourse. And Paul Heyman turns around to see the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa into the ring and back off since by bringing all to the same. And Jimmy Uso comes to make the save and steel chair in hand, and Paul Heyman gets away, but Tonga and Fatu get the better of Usos and put boots into him and horse curling to him with his own chair, and the refs try to break it up, and Jacob takes one out with a super kick and causing the rest of them to keep their disgust this discuss and rolled I'll say it again rolled I'm saying rolled assistants arrive and since eats a super kick, but Cody Rhodes is back to set Tama Loga I'll say it again Tonga Loa packing and squaring off with the werewolf Jacob Fatu and hands off Duck Illyria, and he's clotheslined Jacob Fatu to the floor. And then we went to a break. And then back from the break, Jacob Fatu is screaming at security and telling them there is no way they're getting rid of him. But LA Knight comes rushing him through the door, and they tell everyone to get a title to win. Then, then we had Chelsea Green fences Mia Yim, which was a decent match. Right here, let's talk about it, guys. So Mia Yim goes for soul food right away, and Chelsea Green bells to the floor back inside, and Mia Yim lights her up with a strike drop kick of cover for two, assist in the ropes, breaking in time, and Mia Yim off to the top, and Chelsea Green ducks and slings her into the bottom rope. I'll say it again. Throw first before dumping her over to the ropes and throwing Mia Yim into the barricade and rolling back inside, letting referee runs. I'll just say the referee makes his count, but Mia Yim rolls back in, and we get to the break, and then head and arm triangle from Chelsea Green shoves into a side headlock and back duplex from Mia Yim, counters to the floor, and Pepper Nevlin runs interference back inside, and Mia Yim with a diving crossbody, and Chelsea Green rolls through, and that's how Chelsea Green won. And Chelsea Green won with a schoolboy win over and heading off of tights. I'll say again, handing off of tights and retaining the WWE United States Championship. Then post-match, Mia Yim tries to grab Chelsea Green, but Pepper Nevlin makes the save and drops the leg on her. And then we get footage of the entire tag team division yelling at Nick Aldis, and then I'll say it again, A-Town Under, threatening to go to Raw, and everyone tells them to go ahead, and Nick Aldis books Pretty Deadly against Lo Garza and Motor Machine Guns against A-Town Under, and Lo Garza makes their entrance, and we go to the break, and then we have Pretty Deadly fences Lo Garza, Angel Garza and Alberto Carrillo, and Garza dives in control, working Wilson over and super kick party for two onto the worst side of town, and he is in, and we go to the break, and back from the break, Pretty Deadly is still in trouble, calling for DIY to come help, but no help arrived. And Del Garza wins pinfall with a super team missionary press power slam, and that's how they won. And then LA Knight makes his entrance to send us to the break. I like this match, but the decision, the decision. Let's talk about it anyways. LA Knight went to Shinsuke Nakamura, and LA Knight won by disqualification. Let's talk about it, guys. So, I'll say it again. Hard out of the gate. Action soon to the floor, and LA Knight bounces Nakamura's head off to the announce desk about half a thousand times, and Nakamura comes back, putting him hard into the ring post, and we go to the back, and back from the commercial break. LA Knight with a big near fall since Boston crowd follow, and Nakamura gets the sits break, laying kicks, and the kicker rows are so close, and turnbuckle exposed into the back and forth, and LA Knight gets the BFT, and he couldn't capitalize. And Takaloa and Jacob Fatu appear and beat down LA Knight down, forcing the ref to call it, and that's how LA Knight won by disqualification. And yes, guys, Nakamura retained the United States Championship. Then the post-match, the beatdown continues, and Samoan Drop sets up repeatedly corner hip attack, and Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso make the save. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Post-match, the beatdown continues, and Samoan Drop sets up repeatedly corner hip attack, and Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso make the save, and Nick Aldis is about to eject the Bloodline, but Cody says they're all here and they want a tag title tonight, and Nick Aldis gets the nod, and we get a recap of Tiffany Stratton cashing in their Money in the Bank, and we go to the break, and I'll repeat it again, guys. Nick Aldis is about to eject the Bloodline, but Cody says they're all here and they want a tag match tonight, and Nick Aldis gets the nod. Not a tag title match, but you know what I'm saying, a tag match, guys. Then, I'm telling you guys, that thing right there with the recap of Tiffany Stratton, which was great. Well, let's talk about it. We get a recap of Tiffany Stratton cashing in the Money in the Bank, and we go back to the break, and back from the commercial, we get another recap of Tiffany Stratton winning the title, this time with the fans' reactions. And like I said again, she deserved it. She deserved it. Tiffany Stratton deserved it. She really did. She deserved it, in my opinion. And then the Motor Machine Guns makes their entrance and sends us to the break, and we have a Hound under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Facing the Motor Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Love those guys. This was a good tag team match. Let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about it. Back and forth in the filling out, and Chris Sabin and Austin Theory. And Austin Theory gets him in the corner and tags Grayson Waller in, and grinding Chris down with a kiss, and he gets out and runs the ropes, but Grayson drops him with an elbow and grabs a kneeling armbar. And back from the break, Alex Shelley gets sandwiched with a rolling elbow, and Austin Theory with a near Nick, I'll say it again, chin lock. And since Alex Shelley makes the tag, and Chris Sabin in hot with kicks and missile drop kicks, and Motor Machine Guns whips it out onto the floor and takes Waller inside for a missile drop kick, reverse STO combo for a near fall, and 8 down under, mounts a comeback and double elbow to Chris and drawing him up, and Jawbreaker knocks Grayson Waller over for a tag, and all 4-man down and out, and whips across a little back seat boy action and gets him up for it, and that's how they won, and that's how the Motor Machine Guns defeated the 8 down under with the skull bones, and that's how they won. Really good stuff, I'm telling you. Really good stuff. Then the post-match, we see DIY watching on a monitor, fumbling about Motor Machine Guns win, and they run into the Pretty Deadly, who was upset they wouldn't have their backs earlier, and Tommaso Ciampa is meant to them, but Johnny Gargano tries to be more diplomatic, and he says he's total knows there is names and promised that their title match, but first they got to do the backstage politics, all that stuff. And then Apollo Crews rolls up and tells Pretty Deadly they're going to get everything they deserve. And then Candice LeRae rolls up on Nia Jax's chat, and she says she's just saw Tiffany Stratton and Nia, and she is going to go celebrate herself. And we go to a break. Then back from the commercial break, Tiffany Stratton makes her entrance, and Brian Saxon interviews her in the ring about cashing in and becoming the WWE Women's Champion, and she crowns about it being Tiffany's time and what Tiffany turns of offense has been. Only a year since her debut, and a 25-year-old, she is already better than all of her favorites. And she talks about Nick. I'll say it again. She talks about Nia Jax. She talked about Nia Jax retreating her and talking the title she loves so much before demanding some respect on her name. And then Nia Jax comes out and she calls Tiffany Stratton an ungrateful little shit and says she could kill her right now. And she said she made Tiffany what she is and took her long enough to take advantage, but now she's having her moment already. And so either she gives her the title back or she's going to take it from her, and Nia Jax gets in her face, and then Bayley comes out, and then she tells Nia to shut the hell up, and she says if this was Tiffany Stratton's plans all along, she got her because she thought she was a little stupid, but she knows Nia Jax is stupid for making Tiffany Stratton from the very beginning, but she still outsmarted her. Then Bianca Belair and Naomi entered, and Naomi says everyone knows she had Nia Jax beat last week before Tiffany Stratton messes up, and if anyone gets to fight her, they get to see her first. And Nia says nobody cares about Naomi, and they go face to face, and Bianca steps up, and Nia Jax headbutts her to the mat, and a brawl breaks up with the champions that sits flailing out to the ring, and Tiffany Stratton's backs in pretty moonsault ever and takes all of them out, which was a great statement in my opinion. Then Nick Aldis makes to the stage and says he has an idea. Since the 4 women in the ring want so badly to challenge for the title, they'll have a four-way number 1 contender match, which was good, guys. Bayley won this, which was good in my opinion. I thought Nia Jax was going to win this, but Bayley won, and I thought Nia Jax was going to reclaim her rematch, but you know what I'm saying. But it didn't happen. But let's talk about it. So Bayley fences Bianca, fences Naomi and Nia. Let's talk about it, guys. Nia Jax stacks Naomi and Bianca Belair up to the corner, but they set ahead, and Naomi lights her up with strikes before coming together with her tag partner for a suplex, and Nia Jax reverses in a double suplex, and back and forth. Nia Jax powerbombs Naomi, but Bianca Belair breaks it up, and Bayley backs in and working Nia Jax over a suit suplex for a near fall, and role model up top, and Nia Jax cuts her off tag champ and gets under them, and Tower of Doom sends us back to the break, and back from the commercial. Naomi with a jawbreaker on Nia Jax, rolling soul butt off the rope and crossbody counter into a black hole slam, and the other 2 women break it up, and Bayley and Bianca get into it and ducking and dodging, switching Okada rolls, and Nia breaks it up, and Naomi's in and taking Nia Jax down, and split leg moonsault not enough, and Bayley up top after diving elbow drop, and Naomi breaks it up, and Bianca Belair's up top and turns a 450 splash, and Bayley breaks it up, and all 3 women covered Nia Jax, and the ref was waved them off, and Candice LeRae comes to the ringside to tag champs with a double Russian leg sweep on Bayley and double elbow drop, and she rolls out of the ring, and Bianca and Naomi square up against each other, and soon enough Naomi dies, but Nia shoots her up and right into an apron, and back inside Bianca floats over up top and rolls spear, and Bayley breaks it up again, and Bayley belly to belly. Naomi breaks it up the nearest view connect, but Nia Jax breaks it up in a small drop on Naomi, but Bianca breaks it up, and then Bianca Belair stand break. Also again, Bianca Belair stand. Also again, Bianca Belair's handspring, Bianca Belair's handspring moonsault, which was amazing. And Bayley kicks out and back and forth, and Bianca whips Naomi with her hair and goes to the floor and tackling Naomi over the desk, and Bayley takes the advantage, and that's what happened right there. And Bayley is the number 1 contender for Tiffany Stratton's belt, and that's what happened. And then they had the match this coming week. I believe they're going to have this SmackDown. Yes, guys, this SmackDown. I remember now. So yes, guys, this coming SmackDown, you're going to have Tiffany Stratton and freaking Man, Tiffany Stratton and Bailey for the freaking WWE Women's Championship. I'm telling you guys, freaking good stuff. I'm telling you guys, really good stuff. Man, Jimmy Uso rolls up on Cody Rhodes backstage and tries to address Roman Reigns, but Cody tells him that as far as his cousin is concerned, he knows this was going to happen and it's all good between them. And Carmelo Hayes rolls up and says if Jimmy wants to try again, he's going to end up like Braun Strowman. And Jimmy Uso asks him to say his catchphrase. Oh, yeah, guys, it happened this week. Sorry, my bad. It happened this week with Tiffany Stratton and Bailey. Now I remembered. Yeah, it happened this past week, which we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later, guys. Sorry, my mistake. So many things on my mind. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But Carmelo Hayes rolls up and says if Jimmy Uso wants to try again and he's going to end up like Braun Strowman, and Jimmy Uso asked him to say his catchphrase, and Carmelo Hayes doesn't miss and says with all his bricks he could bring a damn house, and has since dumps for Red Cross offense related to the fire in California since to the break. Then we come to a commercial break, and Bailey is interviewed backstage, and she says it's all about taking advantage of the opportunity you get, and she confronts that she's going to beat Tiffany Stratton like she has every other time. And then Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa are walking backstage, and Jacob Fatu cuts a promo. I'll say it again. Cuts a promo. I'll repeat it again, guys. Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa were walking backstage, and Jacob Fatu cuts a promo, running their opponents down, and that's what happened right there. And then we had the main event. Let's talk about it, guys. Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso fences Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa. Let's talk about it. So the Bloodline man's controls, and we go to the break and back for the commercial. The Uso gets working over, still a since tag, and makes Cody Rhodes come hot. I was thinking comes in hot and scoops the scoop power slam and sets up a pretty disaster. Jimmy Uso comes in and powers in the glory, and Jacob Fatu runs in and breaks it up. And Jacob Fatu runs in and breaks it up, and Cody Rhodes hits the Cody Cutter, and Jimmy Uso dives and sends Jacob Fatu soaring over the downstairs, and Cody Rhodes gets distracted fighting with Kevin Owens and sits Cody Rhodes with else and breaks up the stage, and Jimmy Uso kicks out of a pin up the ropes and spears on Tonga Loa up the top, and Jacob Fatu rolls him up of the ring to break it up, and Jacob Fatu presses an attack, and Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa win with the springboard moonsault from Jacob Fatu on Jimmy Uso, and that's what happened right there. And then Cody and Kevin rolled back out into the technical area, and besides the barricade, Kevin Owens gets up on a stage of road chase and brawling with Cody and rushes him, and they go off this cage and through some tables, and that's what happened in the show. And that was a brilliant way to end the show with Cody and Kevin Owens with that, guys, from January 10th episode. So yes, guys, I give this show a 7 out of 10. In my opinion, a 7 out of 10. Man, a 7 out of 10, I'm telling you. A 7 out of 10. I give this show a 7 out of 10. And we'll talk about what happened on SmackDown this past week, what happened on SmackDown as well, guys. So don't forget to like the video, hit the notification bells as always, guys. I'll say again, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit those notification bells as always, guys. And this is Christopher Jackson Denver. I'll say again, this is Christopher Jackson Denver. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells as always, guys. And peace out and take care, guys. Peace out and take care.